Howdy, Mr. Pete again. Welcome back to the shop. And this is tips number 1091. It's part 2 of a 2-part video. I hope you watched part 1, which was number 1090, where I serviced and adjusted the clutch on this machine, and it works so much better now. Now there is a grease zerk in there, just one zerk, so I did grease it a few minutes ago. But the subject of today's video is to adjust the brake. There is a brake, and it's on the clutch here. Push the clutch up and the spindle starts. Push it down and it's in neutral, but if you want to stop it a little bit faster, you push down and that actuates the brake, and I think it needs adjustment. So I want to show you what the brake looks like by putting the camera in here, and then I'm going to show you some pictures also of the parts manual. It's not a very big brake, considering we got a 40-pound chuck with tremendous mass and a great deal of inertia when it's rotating. Okay, here's a beautiful view again of the clutch and the brake and the spindle, and this is the zerk that I just greased a minute ago, and also grease is required right there, and I spread the grease pretty much when I grease the zerk. But anyway, this is the brake. The disc is in purple. I colored that in. And when you actuate the brake, it pushes the pad here, which is really no pad at all. And they call it a drum, but actually it's a disc. It's like a disc brake. And when you push the brake handle, it pushes this arm here against the purple disc, and that's the brake. It's just that simple. Now there's a difference here between this drawing and my machine. Apparently there was no way to adjust it before, but in my machine, which you'll see in a second, this link here is like a turnbuckle, so it can be tightened or loosened. I'll show you that here momentarily. So in the exploded view, here is what they call the brake drum. I call it a disc. And nowhere on this exploded view can I find the pad that pushes against it. I don't know if I'm just not smart enough to find it, or if they actually do not have it in the drawing. Okay, here's most of the exploded view. It's really a complicated assembly, but here is that little link that I just talked about, and that's what I'm going to adjust. We got a pretty nice view here of the brake assembly and the clutch, and this is the brake disc that I was talking about. Now watch as I apply the brake. So the pad, if you want to call it, is back here. It's kind of hard to see, and that's what I cannot find on the drawing, but when you push down, the pad is pushing against the disc. It's a disc brake, and I believe that the harder I push, the more pressure will be applied, but I'm not positive of that. But what I'm going to do here is, this is the link I was talking about, and it's a change in design because it is adjustable. So I'm going to take this cap screw out off camera and shorten this up by 1 or 2 threads, and we'll see if it makes any difference at all. Maybe it won't. And there doesn't seem to be any wear on the pad or the brake disc. Okay, I've removed the screw, and I'm going to extend this by 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, and I'll put the bolt back in. We'll see if it makes any difference at all. Okay, let's have a little demonstration. I'm going to turn the machine on and off several times applying the brake. So watch the brake. Okay, I think that might have helped. At least it gives me more clearance on the lever from the chip pan, if nothing else. I think I'm done. One other thing I wanted to show you is that I measured the diameter of the disc, and I even made a little template. It's 3 3/4 inch diameter. Not very big when you consider the diameter of the chuck, but yet it is pretty darn effective. So the design isn't bad at all. All right, let's have a couple cycles on this view. Watch this belt. This is the belt that goes up to the main spindle. So you can see the braking action pretty well. One more thing I'd like to do before I button this all up is there's too much slack in the timing belt, as you can see. It's probably never been adjusted, certainly not by me. But anyway, in order to do that, there are 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll loosen those up, and you can see the end of a slot there. So the slots are in where I'm touching. So I'll loosen those 4 up and put a little pressure on it and tighten that up a little bit. This may not make sense to you, but look at the amount of slack. So I've got the big old Starrett caliper here, and I'm just running it up to about 1 inch below the sheet metal here, and then I'll remeasure it after I take up the slack. Well, that was almost too easy. You can see there's a little bit more of the slot showing there and on the other side as well. And although I did tap it with the brass hammer, just the sheer weight of the counter shaft took up the slack. Look at this. So much less, it's so much tighter. So with the caliper at the same setting, I can't even get it up that high anymore. So that did the job. I'm a happy man. All right, now let me demonstrate how quickly the brake actually stops the spindle. So I'll do 2 tests. One, I'll just let it coast to a stop and see how long that takes. And on the second part, I will apply the brake as hard as I can and try to determine how quickly the spindle comes to a stop. Okay, this machine is equipped with a brake, as you know, but let's see how long it takes for it to coast to a stop. Remember, we got a 35 or 40 pound chuck here, so I'm going to turn the machine on. Took almost 9 seconds to coast to a stop. So this is a combination clutch and brake. When you push down on it, it actuates the brake, which doesn't seem to be that fast, but by the same token, the handle is hitting the tray right here. So let's see how long it takes to stop with me pushing the brake as hard as I can. Okay, it's kind of hard to manipulate everything at one time, but it was just a little bit over 2 seconds, maybe 2 2/10 seconds to stop it with the brake. Well, that completes the job and the 2-part video on adjusting the clutch and adjusting the brake. I've got the machine all buttoned up and cleaned and ready to use, and I hope to see you in my next video. So long for now.